Speaking of voter fraud, a district judge has ruled that she's in charge. And her name is Sparkle Sooknanan. And no, I did not make that up, and we're not going to dwell on her name. Let's go to the article that we have over at Patriot.tv titled, "One Judge Now Controls How America Verifies Its Voters." Once again, the country is left to wonder why it bothered holding a presidential election in 2024 when the operative question of how the federal government confirms that voters are citizens now runs through the chambers of a single district judge in Washington, D.C. On Monday, U.S. District Judge Sparkle Sooknanan, a Biden appointee, go figure, set aside the Trump administration's overhaul of this SAVE database in a 75-page ruling. Now, to be clear, the SAVE database is very different from the Save America Act. It's a separate situation, but it is still important, and it's something that we were really going to be leaning on heavily for the upcoming midterm elections. Now, with this ruling, with the timing being very conspicuous, just 5 months before the election, it seems unlikely that we will be able to appeal it in time and have it impact the midterms. In her declaration, 75-page declaration, she said that Washington, D.C. had knowingly trampled on the privacy rights of American citizens in a manner that threatens the sacred right to vote. They always use this very, very colorful language when expressing their reasoning behind trying to steal elections. Now, in this particular case, to be very fair, number one, this is not the Save America Act. This is the SAVE system, which is the Systemic Alien Verification for Entitlement System that has existed since 1986. In 2025, the Trump administration had expanded the tool, bolstered it, made it to where it was more effective, and we were going to use it to make the elections more secure, to prevent illegal aliens from being able to vote in federal elections. Unfortunately, this isn't a matter of, just total government overreach, or judicial overreach, I should say. In this case, she kind of has a point. Now, I'm not agreeing with the ruling. I'm just saying that she has a reason behind her ruling. Sooknanan leaned heavily on Texas, where the revamped system flagged a number of registrants who turned out to be citizens. Naturalized Americans were forced to prove their citizenship to stay on the rolls, and at least one citizen reportedly had a registration revoked without ever knowing it. Now, we can and must secure our elections, but we must also preserve the right for any American citizen to vote. And when the system is broken in a way, as it was in Texas, that can prevent righteous, lawful American citizens from being able to vote, that system has to be fixed. Now, it shouldn't be completely torn down the way that this district judge has done, but again, this isn't just a matter of pure judicial overreach. She overreacted, for sure. This should have been something where she goes out and says, hey, it's broken, fix it. Instead, she said, it's broken, so don't use it anymore. And that's where she's very much wrong. The remedy is sweeping, the timing is conspicuous, and the rationale rests on a privacy theory that collapses under the slightest pressure. The federal government already holds every Social Security number and every citizenship record it issues. The notion that it commits a fresh privacy violation, because that's where she's going after privacy in this case, not just the usurping of one's right to vote, but also she's saying that it's a privacy issue because you can't really cross-reference Social Security numbers with voter registration. That's dumb. Why? Because they already have access to both. So being able to cross-reference it as a tool is simply common sense. It's logical. That's how we're able to determine, okay, so this person voted, but we can't find a Social Security record of this person. What happened? I'm not going to dwell on it. Look, we need the Save America Act. What is that? Number 583? I just keep hammering it. But here's the thing. We do have the ability to, and this is something that I haven't researched. I read it as a headline. I'll admit it. I read it as a headline yesterday, and I thought, that's interesting. Apparently, we have the ability, or I guess The Senate has the ability to vote on the Save America Act every day between now and the election. Why not? Why not push, at least try with the filibuster? Why not just... Of course, the answer to that is that John Thune is not just a rhino, not just a fake Republican, not just somebody who's against the party, but more importantly, someone who is against the nation. He is part of the uniparty swamp. He represents the R in the uniparty swamp. He replaced Mitch McConnell, the original R in the uniparty swamp, by replacing him as his protege, as his heir apparent. He, of course, took up the mantle of being the main obstructionist when Republicans have power. Now, if and when Republicans lose power and Democrats take hold again, John Thune will be there just screaming about voter integrity. But now that he has the power to force the vote, to promote a proper filibuster, we're not even talking about having to just abolish the filibuster, even just the standard talking filibuster that was in use for decades, even just going back to that, he doesn't need anything to make that happen. Make it happen. Put Democrats on record. And the argument against it is that, that'll tie up the Senate for so long and we'll be unable to pass important legislation. What legislation are you passing? He makes me so mad. So as mad as I can be at Sparkle Sooknanan, this district judge for basically usurping voter integrity, I can look to John Thune as the primary culprit, the one that really, really, truly needs to be purged from the United States Senate, not just as Senate Majority Leader. I want him out of the Senate altogether.
Oh, Johnny, I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now.